Hi everyone. I thought I would come on. Like I packed all my cards away because I'm gonna move soon, and I thought I would just do like just a sorry my dog, a psychic kind of just check in with like what the next few months feel like for the collective, and also if anybody's watching, I can answer questions you have. Yeah, so I'll just try to focus despite my dog going wild. Just relax. Okay, let me just think. Sometimes I have to close my eyes just to focus, but I'll think about what comes. It seems like there's like a lot of hostile communication kind of vibes in the air, like people can discourage or intimidate people like really easily at this time. Like everybody's, it's been difficult with quarantine and everything. It's kind of like how the dog is acting, like grumpy and hyper and stuff. And it's really important to not get caught up in all the like little mini battles and stay focused on like how you want things to progress, which is like in a peaceful manner. And sometimes that means not having the last word with people. If you have some kind of disagreement, like sometimes it's really great to like let somebody else just go like, this is what happened or whatever, and you're just like, there's the urge to reply, but like where does it really get you? And you can just let them sit in that reverberation of their opinion and just be like, okay, because they're just sort of creating their own reality by doing that, and it doesn't really affect your life truly, like that someone has an opinion. So yeah, because like you really have to look at the big picture and like, what do I want my life to be? Like if I'm looking back on my life, you want to see it as a series of really amazing decisions that you made that resulted in peace and well-being and stuff. So he's so grumpy. What do you want? So really stay mindful of that and don't get triggered by people into like arguments or insecurities and stuff, like because truly the universe has your back, and there's a certain amount of learning how to go with the flow that we need to do to really enjoy life and like allow the magic to come into our lives. So any sense of like controlling people or situations, like we have to like get into the habit, like a new habit of just trusting the universe, not just blindly trusting, but like communicating, being like, okay, I'm open to seeing your messages and the coincidences and like, the signs from the universe. It's like a two-way discussion. But you also know that like life is being made for you, not by you, but like for you, so you're not like controlling every little aspect of it, but your general like, the arrow that you're shooting through the woods is like a positive goal in mind, and like letting things line up with that. So yeah, the energy that I pick up is that kind of argumentative, kind of collective energy, but that I think it's because so much is being changed right now, and it's like creating like super fast healing cycles for everyone, and it's uncomfortable, and it tends to like going into an attic and like sweeping it up. It's like you're gonna like by sweeping you're gonna put like more dust in the air kind of thing. but at the same time it's getting clean, so it's that kind of thing, like don't get caught up with all the little dust particles of people's like bad moods and stuff. Know that things are getting restructured in a good way, especially if your consciousness is aligned with like in agreement with like things are going to improve, things are going on the right track, instead of like allowing your mind to like jump around like, oh my god, like, in a kind of controlling argumentative way. All right, so I'm going to see what other energies I pick up. Yeah, and so there's also this like lessening, if you can in any way lessen your dependence on like grocery stores and stuff, like in the summer months, if you learn how to make preserves, or you like learn what can store well for a long time, and if you can like grow anything yourself, like in your apartment, or like herbs, or just really like anything like lettuce, or things that aren't too complicated but that you eat regularly. There's tons of videos on how to like germinate seeds, and like bell peppers and stuff like that. Anything that you eat a lot. I feel like if you can kind of like make the aspect of cooking at home and like having food, like having a sort of pantry, even if it's a mini pantry of just stuff, then you're less likely to be like freaking out if for some reason like stores go through hiccups of like having a lot of stuff and not having a lot of stuff and whatever. It's like, because we did see periods of that where there was like, but you don't want to be like the person hoarding a pallet of toilet paper, in your minivan in front of everybody either. Like, there's a way to subtly kind of make things right. And also, like, just on the toilet paper tip, if you can get these really inexpensive bidet kind of attachments to a toilet that lessen the need of toilet paper, because it's actually like you're more efficiently cleaning. Yeah, and so there's that. Just things that like kind of just take the heat off of like the system having to do everything for you. And I'm not saying like go completely off grid or whatever, but like it's just like being in a really solid relationship might give people some peace. Having a really solid pantry situation can give you a lot of peace, because you're just like, I know I'm good for a certain amount of time, but not in a way that's like end times, whatever. It's just like learning how to incorporate like growing some of your own items, or just having, a cool pantry, even if it's just one cupboard in your kitchen, just with preserves and stuff. There's just like this peace of mind. It's like, making your home life less of like a entertainment fast food zone, and making it like a stable place where you're feeling nurtured and supported, right? Because then you're less likely to like get mad at the system and stuff if you're like the least amount of time you can spend being mad at the rest of the world, the better. Okay, wait just a second. You want to play ball? I'm gonna see what else I pick up besides those two things. I also feel like it's good to communicate with people in your life, just like checking in, because sometimes we need that like web of connections to like catch us sometimes when we need support, even if it's like on a minimal level. So instead of being like mysterious and like just posting selfies and stuff, like maybe actually like, how are you doing or what's up, or like, because everybody's going through it at this time. Like it doesn't hurt to touch base with people in a real way, not in a like probing and violating kind of way, but like, you know, I'm here, you're important to me. Like, I'm glad that we're friends. However you want to like it, whatever. It's important to have a network, I feel, of at least 5 people in your life. I know for like introverts like me, like 5 seems like a lot of people. You might have 200 friends. But like for the people that are not always reaching out, like it's a good habit to like reach out. It's just like a form of politeness and being a human being, like, politely reaching out and checking in on people, and and then you get an idea of like who has your back if you need help, because like we're not meant to live this life in complete isolation. I mean, some people maybe have done that successfully, but like they are probably people who have like a really excellent spiritual connection. So in a sense, they have friends too. So it's like we all have friends that we need. And sometimes your friends aren't necessarily the people who are like really in your face friendly. They're just like cool, solid people. You don't even have to live in the same town or whatever, but like they've just always been really solid and believed in you or whatever. And they might not be the most charismatic people, but they are like real and helpful and devoted. Like even if they have busy personal lives of their own, like with family or whatever, work, they still have like 5 minutes for you or something, and that 5 minutes matters, kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be the friends who are like super dramatic and codependent. They can just be functional people who care. Okay, so there's that. And what else? Yeah, okay, so I feel like governments and stuff are being like stupid right now, and it would be easy to get mad at that. So as much stability as you can create, like in these tips I've been talking about, in your own life, so that your whole life isn't rocked by like the system, let's say, the better. I mean, the system's supposed to work for like the nuts and bolts of life, like fixing roads and bridges and having, a sort of somewhat sane running of things. You know what I mean? But really, like, there's a lot of onus on the individual to make their life cool and to create some stability and like consistency in your life. So that part is like your job, and you're not going to get that from looking at Instagram or whatever. It's like just some caring and nurturing kind of super old-fashioned, like medieval kind of skill set of doing some like super basic gardening stuff and pantry keeping and letter writing and whatever, like that kind of stuff. Being a good friend, and being a good friend doesn't mean talking to someone about their problems for 4 hours over wine and like candy popcorn or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be that kind of indulgent type of friendship. It can just be like touching base in a real way, in an effective way. Because like ideally our lives aren't so full of drama that we need to be like dodging waves of emotion all the time. Like it's nice if we can
just go from like calm calm water, like beautiful sunsets every day, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, so the next few months seems like to take our focus off the drama going on, like people freaking out or the government going through their growing pains. Meanwhile, we're cool, like we have our thing together as much as we can. Let's see what else. Yeah, because like, and also like try to think of like one creative project that matters to you, even if the final result is just like one drawing or like a 3-page book or whatever. Like you're acknowledging that you have inspiration in you or ideas in you, and you're like taking the time to write them down instead of just feeling pushed and pulled by life. Because even, you know, it's like planting the mustard seed that moves the mountain, you know, like your seemingly little idea or just glimmer of an idea like that you jot down could become something good and important. But it's a matter of you like acknowledging that seed, as it were. Because when we give ourselves that kind of attention of acknowledging ourselves and our ideas, then we're not going out in the world and seeking that kind of validation, love, or support from other people who might be too busy or too like effed up in their own head to like give you proper love. So there's a certain amount of that we need to give ourselves. Okay. Just gonna see. I feel like there's just like one more thing, and then I'll click off unless you guys have a question. Also, like even if you don't have like amazing clothes or whatever, like still appreciate them and like work with what you have and really try to like present yourselves as well as you can, not in like a fancy show-offy way, but just like dignity. I feel like there is a need to just raise the bar, like like if you have a choice between Crocs and running shoes or something, like go for the running shoes, or like what you just raise it up like a little bit so that it's like people are making an effort to like show up in life. Like let's say normally you wear like a shirt with some beer slogan on it or whatever, and then you decide like I'm gonna wear like a polo shirt today or like a, you know, collared shirt just to be like, just to bring it up a notch. and it has this kind of ripple effect, like it, you know, like little things like that kind of matter. Like I feel like that's the last thing. So it's like even if things seem chaotic, or like showing up as best we can in life and kind of like on the, you know, sort of secretly like doing a little boost of like our appearance. I mean, I should talk more in like a weird sweatshirt, but I'm gonna, before I go out, I'm gonna like bring it up a notch. And then yeah, there's, so like the theme I would say is like the sort of self-nurturing, raising your game, like not succumbing to like fear and arguments, and knowing that like whatever people want to argue about today will not persist, and that it's more important like the big picture of like having a peaceful life, and that means not getting into it with people, not getting super crazy mad at the government, and like start with yourself, be super stable and respectable in yourself first, and then like let the world kind of reflect that back to you. Um, and instead of like pointing the finger, like, why don't the stores have everything I need? It's like, ask yourself, like, what do I need and what can I do to like make that more comfortable in any way, even if it's really small. Uh, yeah. So having said that, it seems like the next little while might be, if I'm picking up that the government's going to be annoying and people are going to be pissed off, it's like, sure, there's still a period of sort of chaos going on, but we can do our part by creating this stability and like beautifying our life, um, which will have a ripple effect on everyone around us, and will keep everything on focus of like we're going to a good place, like um because if we consider like, what if I spent 6 hours getting mad at the world versus what if I spent 30 minutes bringing my game up and like planning what would be really great to have in a pantry, you know what I mean, like which one is time better spent, like truly. So yeah, it's an interesting time, and so either way, like it requires us to change, and maybe these changes, like of making our lives more functional and solid, is like the onus right now on us. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's no questions, so I'll just end the video. And if I don't make another video for a few weeks, it's because I am moving. But I may, depending. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.